When people get to their 50s, we are not surprised if they are looking fatter. In fact, we compliment people who are not fat, right? So if they are looking lean and slim, and if they are really aged and if they are not looking fat, then we tend to compliment them, right? So we have been conditioned as a society to think that as we get older, it's okay to get fatter, right from Hollywood movies, or whether it is Indian movies, everywhere you see all older people are all good fat people, right? So we, and even if we see our ancestors in our generations also, all old people are generally more fatter. So what we normally accept is, we are thinking that our bodies are designed such that they reach their peak levels when we are at around our mid 20s, and then like after our 25s or after we get past the 30s, we believe that our peak performance is going to decrease, and we believe that this addition of weight is a normal process that happens biologically, right? That is the way we tend to believe, or we are made to believe right from our childhood, and our society also plays a major role in that. So one of the studies shows that on the average, Indians tend to add at least 1 to 1.5 to 2 kgs, 1 to 2 kgs of weight every year after their 30s. Now what happens is, people don't realize, say for example, if you're just putting on 1 kg extra per year, there is no way that you will kind of figure it out, because it doesn't happen just on like December 31st tick, the weight just goes by 1 kg. It doesn't happen like that, right? So it is a cumulative process. It keeps adding on few grams and milligrams every now and then over a period of 1 year, you see that 1 kg or 2 kg weight is getting added. Now it's something like small tiny drops make the ocean, right? So after a period of 10 years, many people will find like once they reach their 40s, they'll find that their weight has increased by 10 or 20 kgs, and they would have reached their 100 kg mark, right? So when I was in school, we always used to feel happy when we get this 100 marks and come and show that. But when your weight reaches 100 kgs, it's nothing like you're getting a center. It's something, an alarm for you to take care of yourself, right? So, but what will happen now is, currently the lockdown is going on indefinitely. There are some theories that says that even until 2025, this pandemic might go on. But what I feel is, this lockdown might end it might end after 5 years, but you'll not be able to look down after 5 years. So be careful about that. Okay. So what we need to understand is that our bodies are not designed such that they have to kind of keep increasing their weight after 30s. It's not that way, right? So why this happens is a lot of factors that influence our lifestyle, and that is a major reason why this is happening as people reach their 30s and beyond. Now there are 5 main reasons why your weight tends to increase after your 30s, and I'll also tell you how you can have some easy workarounds about that, and how you can kind of reverse it or prevent that from happening. So the first point here is about muscle mass. So imagine that if like, have you ever imagined that if you get a device or some kind of nanoparticles that you can kind of have inside your body, and what this device will do is, it will just keep burning calories. You don't have to do anything. So have you ever imagined that if someone invented a device like that, or a nanochip, something that you implant in your body, and you just don't have to do anything, you can keep eating all your favorite foods and do anything, but this device will keep burning all the calories, right? So this would be such a wonderful invention, right? That person should really be given a Nobel Prize if such an invention happens. But there is nothing like a device that is existing as of today. Probably somebody is working, I don't know, but there is nothing like that device as of now. But the good thing is, there is a natural device like that that is built in our body, right? And that is our muscles. So that is the muscles. So how muscles work is, they, without you doing anything, the muscles keep burning calories. Now what happens is, if you're not using these muscles effectively, then what happens is your body finds it difficult to maintain the muscle. So there is this intelligent brain that sits here. So what it does is, anything that is difficult to do, anything that is taking more energy to maintain or something, it tries to somehow instruct you to kind of get away with that. It wants an easy thing. It wants to kind of do activities which take less energy for it to produce or for it to maintain. So when you're not using your muscles effectively, then what happens is, 3 to 8% of your muscle mass starts decreasing. So particularly one of the research studies shows that after your 30s, 3 to 8% of your muscle mass keeps reducing in a period of 10 years. That is, over a decade, you will lose up to 8% of your muscle mass. Now, until 30s, what is happening is, this muscle is playing a major role in one of the roles of burning your calories without you have to do any other physical activity also. But after 30s, there is a decline in muscle mass. Now, if there is a decline of, say for example, 2.5 kgs of muscle mass, then what will happen is, after every 24 hours, your body will tend to burn 250 less calories, or it will burn 250 calories less than what it has been doing earlier. So every 24 hours, it will start burning 250 calories less than what it was doing earlier. Now over a period of 14 days, what this will happen is, your metabolism will slowly start declining because you're burning less calories now. And over a period of 14 days, you would have accumulated around half a kg of fat in your body. So that nice tummy that comes up by eating that yummy food is starting to accumulate this weight. Now imagine what happens, like every 14 days it keeps accumulating like this. What is going to happen? So the main point to note here is, we lose our muscles if we don't use them. So if you start using them in the proper way and make sure that it's getting regularly used in the right way, then your body doesn't disturb it. It helps in maintaining it, and your muscles are this automatic calorie burner. So it keeps burning calories also, which is a bonus for you, because you don't have to do anything, but your muscles are burning calories for you. But we also lose muscles not only just because we don't use them, but we will also tend to lose muscles when we do a lot of cardiovascular activities. So why I say is that, like if you do too much of cardio on the treadmill, or you keep running a lot, then also you will tend to lose muscles. So just check the difference between a sprint runner, somebody who runs a 100-meter race, versus somebody who runs a 42-kilometer marathon, or a triathlete, or whoever it is. The person who runs marathon, you can see that they'll be like very lean. They'll not have much muscle mass itself, right? So they'll be very, very lean. But if you see the person who's a sprinter, right, they will have a good, well-built body. They will have good muscles, and they'll have a well-built body. So there is a lot of mechanism on the energy pathways, and why muscles are getting eaten away when you do a lot of cardiovascular activities. But the point to note here is, you will lose muscles in two cases. One is if you're not using them, and second is if you use them too much in terms of by means of some cardiovascular activities. So the way to kind of have a proper compromise here is, you should start doing some kind of strength training activities. Either you can, if you're going to a gym, obviously you will do some strength trainings. Otherwise, you can at least get a 2 kg or a 4 or 5 kg dumbbell at home and just do some simple exercises. Or you can just do some body weight exercises, right? Your body itself is like 60 or 100 kgs of weight, right? So you can just do some simple exercises with your body, and strength training is a great way to retain your muscle mass and to kind of retain your automatic calorie burnout. So that is point number one. Point number two is lack of activity levels. Now when we say activity levels, we have to again differentiate between physical exercises and physical activity. Many people think that if they just do exercise for half an hour or 1 hour, that itself is a great activity, right? And then the rest 23 hours they just don't move from their seat, right? That is not physical activity. So in case of exercise, what we do is to take care of our fitness level, we work on some intentional movements. So that is exercise, that is the physical exercise for you. Now physical activity is anything that we do unintentionally. Say for example, if you have to go and get a coffee, you have to get up, go to the kitchen or go to your pantry in case if you are in your office, and then you will have to get that, or if you have to get water or something, or this happens naturally when we were kids, right? When we were kids, we used to keep moving around very frequently the whole day, and there was a lot of activity. But as we grew, what happens is that even we don't want to park a car farther away and then walk. We just tend to park it near our lift. We immediately take the lift and come, and there is no physical activity there. Or even getting down the stairs also, we don't want to take the lift, right? And if we go for any parties or any outings, everywhere we just go there and immediately we sit down. So everywhere there is we make sure that there is very much less of physical movements, right? Even at least earlier when we were working in office, we have to walk down to go to our restrooms, but now because of the pandemic, we are locked in the houses, and you just have to take 4 or 5 steps to go to your restroom. So that activity level also has come down, and I think if this continues for some more time, somebody will invent a chair which has a closet underneath, and you don't have to do anything even for a choo-choo. So everything you can do from your place itself. So that is the kind of physical activity that we are going through at this time, right? People want to reduce their movements as much as possible, and that is what they think is the comfort they get, right? They think a comfortable life is where they don't have to make any movement, everything comes to them, right? So that is lack of physical activity. So you need to make sure that you get some physical activity. Now imagine if there are like two persons. One person has a job where he has a lot of physical activity throughout the day, and the other person is like an IT employee who can just sit on the chair for 12 hours, and probably once a closet chair comes, you don't have to do any movement at all, right? Now if between these two people, the person who is having a regular physical movement throughout the day, he will burn 700 more calories every day. And what will happen is, this person who is not burning the calories or who is having a very sedentary life, he will tend to accumulate 0.5 to 1 kg of fat every week. Isn't that wow, right? So don't be very happy that you are not making your movements regularly, and that is a boon that you got, like a very sophisticated life that you have got, but it is going to kind of give you some other health problems later on, right? Because it is building up some ticking time bomb in your tummy. So be careful about that. So that is point number 2, is to watch out about your activity levels. Point number 3 is your relationship with food. Now as kids, we never bothered about food, right? In fact, we just used to run away from food, and parents used to be behind us to eat our food. And what they always used to do, I remember, is that whenever we complete a particular work, if they want us to do something, or if they want us to study or go and do something, what they will say is, if you complete this, I'll give you a chocolate. You will get an ice cream if you behave properly for the whole week, right? Or you might get popcorn, or you will get all these kind of nice sugary sweet food, or mostly salty foods and all that. These are rewards for you if you do and behave as a nice kid. Now what happens is, you're getting conditioned like this from your childhood, that whenever something good happens, or whenever you do things that your parents want, you're going to get these nice foods. So imagine that whenever you take these nice sugary and salty foods, there is a spike in the dopamine level and the glucose level in your body, and this makes your brain feels really very good, right? It feels very comforting and soothing for it. Imagine like you are shivering in cold, and somebody gives you a bonfire and good blankets for you, you'll feel very soothing like that. So similarly, all these nice sugary foods and the salty foods, right? These are the foods that make your subconscious mind very soothing for it, and it loves these kind of foods. And we are also training regularly with these kind of foods right from our childhood. So what happens is, after we become adults, what we happen to do is we are trying to find or build a relationship between food and our mood levels. So whenever I am happy, or whenever I have birthday, or I get a promotion, or something good happens in my life, then people think, okay, I have to celebrate. I need to order pizza, let me order ice creams, I'll go for a big buffet, and then I'll eat like a kumbhakarna, right? Eat till the neck. That's the relationship people are building between food and their life events and their mood levels. And even this is also true when you're stressful. When people are stressful also, they go and just keep eating a lot of food. And whenever you're stressful, you tend to eat a lot of sugary foods and all that also, to burst out stress. So what we need to watch out is about this relationship with food. And after, as adults, one of the recent trend that I see with people is they kind of sabotage their overall relationship with food with all these kind of foods. But the internet tells them that they can kind of get rid of all these problems and reduce their weight by just fasting. Something very popular now is intermittent fasting, or a very popular other one is a low carb diet, or a low fat diet, or a low carb high fat diet. So there are a lot of different combinations that the internet tells you that you can lose your weight. But the problem is, people screw up in all these things, and they really kind of spoil their health by following these kind of crash diets. But I'll tell you a very simple hack. You don't have to really kind of starve yourself or go on such restricted diets and all that. Just do a simple hack. Remove any processed food from your pantry or from your fridge, or whenever you go for shopping, just don't visit the section which has any packaged food. Just eat only whole food. Don't go for any sugary food and all that. Just do that at least for 1 week and see, and how you can see the difference and see how your body loves you, right? So simple thing, just try to remove processed food and then refined sugar or any kind of refined food. So that is point number 3 for you. The point number 4 is about stress and lack of sleep. Now, when we were kids, there was nothing like a stress for us. But stress starts once we complete our college and once we start going to our job. So the moment we start getting into a job, we enter the workforce, stress starts kicking in. And the other thing is, once people get married and when they get more responsibilities in life, more stress gets adds on. So what happens is, when there is more stress, we naturally tend to choose foods which are high in calorific value and which are high in fat also. So that is the natural tendency that we kind of go on. And as I mentioned before, we also develop some relationship between food and our mood levels also. So what happens is, when you are stressed or when you have a very stressful day, I've seen that people just come after a very long day. And one of my friend, I've seen that he has a very long stressful day. If he has worked very hard throughout the week, or even particular days, he'll just order 1 or 2 biryanis in Swiggy and chicken 65 and a Coke bottle and all that, and he'll have a nice time watching some series in Netflix. And then his tummy will be bloated and has nicely grown over a period of time. And then he will come to me and ask, Srini, தொப்பை இப்படி வந்துட்டு இருக்குடா, என்ன பண்றது? He will ask very innocently, right? If you keep stuffing like this, even if you ask innocently or if you ask seriously, the answer is you have to stop doing that, right? So don't develop that relationship between stress and food. Try to work on more mindfulness and more mindful eating, and and that is what will help you prevent doing this. The other thing is lack of sleep. And this has become very common for people these days who tend to be very aggressive in their goals to achieve things in their career and whatnot. So they tend to work a lot, or the other thing is that they spend a lot of time on social media in the night. So they have a lot of late night sleep and sleepless nights. But when your sleep gets disturbed, what happens is it disturbs a lot of hormones also in your body. Just like you want to sleep whenever you feel tired, the whole day there are some hormones in your body that are doing some work for you. So they also want some rest, and their rest time is following some biological cycle called the circadian rhythm. Now, because you want to watch some Netflix series and it's very interesting for you, you go and spoil the hormones sleep. And what it does is in turn, it comes and spoils your health also, right? So what you have to be doing is you need to be very watchful about your sleep. And when your sleep gets disturbed, your hormones gets disturbed, and it will also increase your stress. So one thing feeds into the other thing, and it becomes a vicious cycle. So make sure that you get enough proper sleep. And I had also given some earlier posts about how to get a proper sleep, so you can check out that in my profile, and you can try to follow that. So sleep and activity levels, that is number 4 for you. So number 5 is about the hormonal imbalances. Now as we reach our 40s, there are a lot of hormonal changes that goes in our body, both for men and women. And there are some hormones that play a vital role in our overall metabolism. For men it is testosterone, and for women it is estrogen and other hormones. Now as we move from our 40s, as we kind of keep moving into our 40s, early 40s and later, the testosterone levels keeps coming down for men, and similarly post 40s, and as the women reach their 50s, they will be entering into their pre-menopause and then their menopause stage. Now all these things will lead to some other changes in our body, and it can affect your metabolism if you are not taking proper care of your body. Now the general belief that people have is that because your hormonal levels are changing, your body is going through some changes, you tend to add on more weight. So that is the kind of belief that people have. While there may be some fact, some truth to it, it is not the only reason why you put on weight after you reach your 40s. So the reasons that I was mentioning earlier in the first 4 points play a major role, and the other thing is your lifestyle plays a major role in why you are putting up weight after your 30s and 40s, right? Hormonal changes are one, but your lifestyle plays a major role. If you always kind of having a disturbed sleep, or you have late night sleep, and you keep eating too much unhealthy food, right? Too much of processed food, refined food, and then you tend to have very less activities, right? So all these things will keep adding up, and it will kind of aggravate your hormonal imbalances as well. So the thing to take care is to kind of make sure that you make some lifestyle changes, bring in proper physical activities, do some strength training, watch out your food, be more mindful, have some compassion for you, have some self-care, and have and these things will kind of play a major role in maintaining your weight, and make sure that you don't keep adding on more kilos as you cross your 40s. Now if you have more questions, you can give in the comment box, and we can keep chatting about health and fitness, and I'll be very glad to kind of answer your questions.